Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. That's not a good way to get started off on words, but anyway, where are we again? Yes, that's right. We took a delivery back to good old Fresno. We do need to get a service though, because we are a little bit low health. I'm just saying that might be important to get. But where do we want to take the next cargo? Oh my god. What is with you recently, game? Why can't you give me something up there? Down here? Over there? Over there in the Pacific. But yeah, these are just terrible. Oh well, there is one to jackpot, but it's only $23 per mile. It's just not worth it. You know, I keep getting all these options, but I still don't take them because I'm like, well, it just doesn't seem to be valuable enough for me. Oh. God, I don't know where to start. Where do we do? What do? Egg rolls? I don't know. It's worth some money. Mom. Oh, whatever. We'll just do what we keep doing, and that be doing the do. Doing the do-do with the poopy butt stuff and the whoa ladies. But yeah, we're having a hard time finding jobs that go more than about 200 miles, and I don't know why. We should have the option, but we don't get the option. There's no options. Options are limited. Options are so limited, in fact, that we have to settle most of the time. And, you know, we gotta have some high standards, okay? This is our life, this is our trucking company, and if we don't set high standards for ourselves and the world around us, then what are we gonna do? I don't know, I just came up with words. I was trying to come up with a joke. That didn't happen. Sorry. I'm just not that funny. Weird. Nice trees. Nice. Just nice. Nice. No. Excuse me, curb. Didn't mean to get in your way. God, excuse me. Just that thing came out of nowhere. Do you see it? It ran the fucking red light. Let's go back in here and grab the cargo. What we have, like 19% damage. Yeah, we're looking good. We do need to get a service, and that'll bring down our tab by quite a bit, unfortunately, or our running revenue, profit, cash money in the bank. Because we just keep taking damage, and there's just nothing I can do about it, because I'm terrible. You know, that was a complete lie when I said there's nothing I could do about it. I could drive the speed limit. I could try not to run red lights. I could not run into everything in existence. But that's just not me. Really, I think American Truck Simulator would be the greatest personality test of all time. I mean, well, that's kind of untrue. It would have to be the opposite. Okay, no. I figured out how this would be a personality test. So, majority of people would not be playing this game. So, majority of the people are relatively normal. It's, I believe, the fraction of people who do play truck simulators are in the world of their own. And so, yeah, it's just, what are we doing? Anyway, let's head back down our road and get the service back through Fresno, and then you know, Arizona. Whoa, where's that? Who knows? Hey, surprise, no updates. Words with friends? No. What a disaster. We're just having a hard time making our way through the world in American Truck Simulator. It's not like it's this, guys, I'm just so enveloped in the world and culture of American Truck Simulator. The characters are just so engrossing. You know, it's just my waifu. This truck is my waifu, guys. No, it's nothing like that. Thankfully, we're not. Oh God, I don't know how that would work, but I just had a terrible vision in my head. Although, while I don't want to tell you because it'll only bring bad things to both me and anybody who would watch this, I just had a vision of what would happen if Boku no Pico suddenly had trucks instead of people. It doesn't make any sense, but that made me think of Boku no Pico, and that just inherently makes me cry. I'm shedding a single tear right now for all the brave parts of my body that had to endure that travesty and morally reprehensible hour and a half of ass. God damn it. Oh, whoa! That was real close, and I am honestly surprised that we snuck through that tiny-ass fence hole. That's what I call my dick. You know, I'm surprised we managed to fit through there without crashing into it 8 times, because that's usually what happens when I try to get my truck through a small fence. I don't know why I'm trying to put a fence in my dick, if you catch my drift, but, oh god. Hi, construction workers. Nice, nice hedge, and street pole, and road, and garage. Why would you... Okay, let's talk about that for a quick second. Okay, whatever, we're looking here. Okay, on the right, yeah, you get your clearance, that's where you go up. We're skipping this song. The one to the left in the middle there that says do not enter, sure, maybe that's some sort of exit. The one to the left of that, why not just put up a wall? What are you doing, designer? Why do you need access to under the staircase? You aren't Harry Potter parking garage. You're a parking garage. Wouldn't that be hilarious if Harry Potter continued to live at that house after rejecting his application to Hogwarts? And, you know, because they had a 2-floor garage for some reason, Harry Potter had to park his car under the staircase of the garage, which was, of course, a tiny little, smart car or something, and then they had his own little connecting door to his room under the staircase. That's just what I'm imagining this poor fictional Harry Potter character in my mind that wouldn't go into this whimsical adventure of silliness. No, silliness is the wrong term. You know, whatever. It's about a kid who gets into magic. I don't know. I never read the books. I saw most of the movies, all but the last one, so really I have no idea how the series ends. I just don't give a shit. Like they were kind of exciting when I was a kid. I just don't care. I know it's a popular thing. I just can't give a shit. Some kid who's into fucking magic and Quidditch and bullshit. God damn it. Now, I'm really just jealous because I want to be Harry Potter. Especially with the dead parents part. I'm fucking with you. That was dark. Oof. I am proud that my parents are still alive. They are lovely people, and I enjoy spending time with them, and thank you for raising me, Dad. Jeez. Boy, I just took a turn down the fucking drain, didn't it? Oof. Alright, let's try to recover by talking about the movie I saw today. There's a transition for you. 1, 2, skip a few, and there we go. That's how you get to number 8. Can we get off this highway, please? Oh my god, I hate you. Anyway, the movie I saw just earlier today, because, you know, I rep that true thug life by watching the occasional children's movie with friends just to blow our own brains out, but I watched the classic 1998 film starring, well, I don't know who it's starring, but, okay, well, I guess it's starring a guy who voices a parrot and a guy who... The guy from Monk, Tony Shalhoub? Shalbob. I don't really know his last name. Anyway, it's called Paulie, and it is a movie, in fact, about a talking bird. Talking parrot, more specifically. Not... Anyway, it's just a movie about a talking parrot because fuck it, why not? But it's a talking parrot who took a cross-country trip to find some lady over the course of like 30 fucking years, which only makes me a little shocking of how that thing survives, because that type of species of bird only lives like 20 to 30 years. What a old fucking bird. Huh. Anyway, so here's a little bit of spoiler for you, but fuck it, who's gonna give a shit? It's a fucking not very popular children's movie from the late 90s. Do you care? Probably not if you're watching this. I don't think many children would watch this. I am vulgar sometimes, but I have been vulgar on at least like 8 other occasions already this episode. Like the first, what, like 10 minutes? Jeez. This guy, he's just not very a good influence. But anyway, well, hello, police officer. So this bird apparently convinces. Oh my goodness. Anyway, all right, let me start over. This kid gets a bird as a pet. This bird can talk, because all birds can talk, as that is discovered later. They just have to discover their natural talking power or some bullshit like that. I don't know. They just started talking all of a sudden. Fucking birds. They try to give some explanation, like the fucking little girl had a stutter and needed to work on the study, so the bird became a teacher. But the parents just didn't understand, much like the classic Will Smith song, Parents Just Don't Understand. And so naturally, while their kid and parent are having a great relationship, the bird is teaching this young girl how to talk, and then the young girl decides this bird should really know how to fly, which just seems like an intuitive thing for birds to know. But sue me, I don't know what happened to that fucking bird. Maybe he had PTSD from falling out of the nest too often. I don't know, man. But anyway, the little girl decides to try to teach the bird how to fly, of course in the stupidest way possible, which is put it out on a windowsill and just like flap your arms around trying to show it how to fly. And then the bird was like, if it's so easy, why don't you show me how to do it? Why did the little girl get out on the fucking windowsill and then fall off the window? Of course, as they fell off the window, they blamed the bird, because that just makes 100% sense. Blame a bird. Blame the bird for your daughter being an idiot and jumping out a window. It's just logic right there. Out of a second-story window, mind you. It's just like, what are you doing? But that dad had, like, excellent reflexes. Anyway, so the bird gets kicked out. The bird then lives in a pawn shop or some shit. Or, like, eventually ends up in a pawn shop. Where he learns valuable skills that come into play later. Such as how to tell the difference between real and fake jewelry and what they're worth. Because he's a bird, I don't know. And, of course, sings Tom Jones's What's New Pussycat all too often in that movie, and twice is in fact all too often. It may have only been like 10-second clips of Tom Jones' What's New Pussycat, but that doesn't make me want to shoot myself any less. So anyway, he then gets adopted by the top billed actress, Jean, I forget her last name. Anyway, Gina, I'm sorry, some person was born in 1930. I'm surprised I remember their birthday more, but I just found it surprising that the fact that they're still alive in 2016. It's pretty old. Much like Abe Vigoda, but he died, so. Anyway. So then, of course, the old lady, whoever, decides to, you know, listen to the bird, help him find the daughter, because that's like his new objective in life, is to reunite with the girl. And so they're like, oh, well, shit, they moved to L.A. from New Jersey, so fuck it, we're taking a cross-country road trip. Then the lady goes blind and dies, all in the span of, like, 10 minutes, which, for the top-billed actress who dies in, like, 15 minutes of knowing them, was pretty fast. Also, not very, dramatic there, was it? It was just like, oh, then she died. And it was like, oh, wait, I can fly now. It was like, what are you doing? So the bird then flies from wherever the hell they were to L.A., where then it gets into probably the most racist section of the, and probably maybe one of the most confusing, but it gets into the weirdest section of the film, which is when the parrot discovers a female Spanish parrot. As weird as that sounds, but they do in fact speak Spanish because it's a parrot from Mexico or some shit. I don't know. So of course, the parrot joins a taco stand's mariachi band dance group. I really don't know how to explain that else, other than I just don't get it. But of course, all while this is going on, they just had to play War's classic song, Low Rider. Low Rider. With the cowbell, and you know, you just know how it is. But is that racist? I was just trying to think. That seems a little racist. I'm talking about lowriders and stuff, and it's like, what is wrong with you, film? Also, the fact that they exclusively talked about tacos and band music with sombreros and shit. That seemed a little racy. Ooh, let's slow down there. They also all ran from the cops when they showed up, which is also just a little bit racist, isn't it? They're just trying to limit immigration. You know, okay, look, it's a little weird. But what's more weird to me is that during their brief time in a Spanish band music taco stand group, they learned, the bird Paulie learned how to dance, fell in love with a bird, but that relationship didn't go anywhere, and then also managed to get the other birds to sing, and nobody gave a shit that these birds could in fact sing, and were singing as part of the band, and dancing, and stealing money. Okay, like, oh goodness, stay on track. Okay. So, and then you'll be like, well, how could that get any weirder? Well, Paulie then gets kidnapped by the person who voices Paulie, weirdly enough, who's another character in that movie, which is just weird. It's weird when they're talking to themselves. Anyway, like, I know it's a voiceover and whatnot, but it's still just weird to me. Anyway, so the guy kidnaps him, and this guy's apparently a scumbag, and he gets Paulie to rob people? As weird as that sounds, okay, like, the bird and him go on a conning spree where the bird steals ATM pin codes and then puts the card back in after getting pickpocketed and stakes the money. And then this is where his skills from the pawn shop kick in, as they then eventually get into breaking into homes and stealing jewelry. I don't know what, it's a bird. It's a, sure, I get, they're just going for this whole smart bird thing, but what are you doing? And then hilariously enough, during the thing, they were like, well, he said that it would be fine, so I took their money. And then at the end, it was like, well, there's one thing he neglected to mention, is that stealing is wrong. But then I got taken again to the next place, and it's like, what? I think you may want to focus on that a little more, movie. It is a children's movie. Do you want to set the example that you should steal people's ATM codes? Really, this was just setting up the fact that teaching kids how to steal money from people. I mean, like, do you think an average bear would be able to learn how to steal a PIN code and then put the thing in? I don't... It's a little weird. I'm just saying. It's just, these are some oddities here for sure. And then, you know, fuck it. And then it gets into where they started in the main part of the story, which is, it's all centered around the guy from Monk, Tony Shalbaba, or the engineer from Galaxy Quest, same person, is a Russian immigrant who's working as a janitor in this weird institute of learning how to animal. Okay, they're just doing some weird animal tests. The horse could not find a job and had to return empty. Fuel and maintenance costs are... Wow, okay. Whatever. Why are you crashing into shit, horse? It doesn't matter. Horse is okay. He understands that. You know, weirdly, we're in some like sort of economic crisis right now where none of us can find work. It was very awkward. Huh, I just don't get it. But anyway, after hearing the story of this poor parrot who's been trapped in a basement for the last decade or some shit, Russian immigrant Tony Shabobu decides to break him out, of course, as that's the only logical conclusion. However, to do this, he yells at his boss, blatantly is like, yeah, we're stealing this parrot, and then hides in a room full of animals and breaks out through the window. Don't worry about the fact that, you know, the police didn't show up, the security are a little silly, and, you know, they let all the animals and destroyed a bunch of research. What the weird reaction to this situation was from the researcher side, because he opens the door where they escaped from, which was like the laboratory, which had a bunch of animals in it. Everything was destroyed, all their papers, all the animals were out, everything was loose, the window was open, it was just a disaster. And what does this guy do? He looks around with sort of a blank stare on his face, walks through all the animals to the open window where he finds a single parrot feather. And then he crashes into a wall. No, but then of course he picks up the feather and just blows on it, and it flies away, and is like, yeah, I guess this is how it's gonna go from now on. And it's like, are you sure this is how you react to years of research being lost? Just blow a fucking feather away like it's a goddamn dandelion and you're making a fucking wish? You stupid idiot. And then, of course, why wouldn't they, but the parrot and child reunite, of course, in a happily ever after kids scenario about a talking bird who went on a stupid adventure. Or some shit. In an hour and a half, of course. It was a weird movie. I'm just saying. I cannot get through this fucking little pathway here, and I don't know why. I think we finally did it, though. Alright, let's park this one. And that movie was fucking bizarre. Not in any, like, how overly insane and weird shit was. Just like, what are you... It's a talking bird. Children movie. I don't get it. It's just some weird shit. You feel me? Do you feel me? On a scale of 1 to I'm felt. Have you raped me yet today? Anyway, I guess that's where we're going to leave things off for today. So thank you very much for watching this episode of American Truck Simulator, and I will see you next time.